Everything's more contagious than it seems. Life to the dream. Passing by for the physics of a bike. It's more harder than it seems. It was the bypassing of your velocity. I spoke that for the training first thought. Now for the applying for the first for the loving it. Everything's more contagious than it seems. Life to the dream. Passing by for the physics of a bike. It's more harder than it seems. It was the bypassing of your velocity. I spoke that for the training first thought. Now for the applying for the first for the loving of one. Where the rising, the pouring out my hand in love. Was victious for the greatest healing. It was. Everything's more contagious than it seems. Life to the dream. Passing by for the physics of a bike. It's more harder than it seems. It was the bypassing of your velocity. I spoke that for the training first thought. Now for the applying for the first for the loving of one. Where the rising, the pouring out my hand in love. Was victious for the greatest healing. It was your energy. Maybe that for the containing of your mask. Not for the letting of wild things. Given to for the heart, for the things, for the more, for the do, for the stronger, for the yet, for the this, to be stronger than enough for the one. Run away for the wonderful perplexities. Starlight for the embedded for the evening sky. My eyes are since those for the beautiful secrets in you hold. Shall cease your exploration for the ending of the exploring. Arrivals for the what started for who's never been knowing. Strong in emotions, sensations burning inside for the rage against the machine for the tender for the shadow for the wilderness. Standardize and sterilize that for the man for the crave for the smash. Smash up everything for the department. You find a store for the will for the cathedral. Myself be happy enough for the moment. You had that each and every worth and not more for we were subtracting, adding up in your life for the subtracting more. I don't know what I'm saying in that for the far and the partying, not making sense and complicating everything for the apparently I had that. The wild thing that you could look for the admiration. Capitalization for the running sentences. Rivers for the space bars to make a paragraph. These be the songs, but these be the love and so. These are the broken hearts for the broken souls and broken beasts. Along with the homo break beats, and this is the heart, and now I know. That for the heart is, now for the feeling and the homeless and the attack for the just to be the sleeping too work with the worry. Life for you're knocking on your door for days. I can't find who's to let in, who's where the heart is in. Isolated within the skin, the eyes and eye, but the heart with the soul, the brain. Yo, teacher for the knowing the math, and you don't need no Adderall. Who's the all for the counting for the wisdom? Who was the oxymoron for the contain? You're focusing more for the never, the been the breath of life. Never for the needed for the wife, and this be the Wi-Fi. Been for the life and the needed for the hurt my life. And you'll hurt me with a knife and never want to tell you your heart bleeds. And just sometimes I can't go here, can't go away. Hold that, girl.
Hold that, girl. More for the expression of the pen.
Hold that, girl.
Hold that, girl. More for the expression of the pen.
Hold that, girl.
Hold that, girl. More for the expression of the pen. Hold that thought like you had a pen for the penitentiary, for the it was only bypassing, for the that to be the part, for the you get met, for the only the fear for the change, fear for the unknown, for the you knew the future. It would be great enough if you could welcome. It'd be here for the get there, for the you can have that future which is great, for the this is the proceeding for the path that you man you want. The after the through hell for the will, for you really own that place of the important and only intense enough to own to awaken your consciousness for you to attain your realizations for the you didn't realize. Talking to the expert, you have that expectation of things for yourself before you can do them. Scissors never stop for the being cutting edge, and you have that to walk slow, never to walk behind, never to walk backwards and nimbles. Beautiful, that for the things that cannot be seen and touched, and that for the felt in the heart. And you can have that passage of dream that you enjoy what is happening right now for this to be the always the wish to be different than it is. I have no time to miss anyone for anything. I am alive, and this is not enjoying what is happening right now for the living in the past, and this is only what a half alive is, and the needing to your self-pity for the suffering and the tears. And when the life isn't going too well for your ego with the mind for the control, it's got that whole thing figured out for the tending to look into the deeper the mystery for your existence. Not for the everything is going too well, not for the life that isn't going for the home, the place, for the strain, for the anxiety, for the sorrow, for the consider your possibility, for the loving your person, for the accept that for the totality, defect that for the do the defects of the part of your person, trying to change your reality for the love, because of that for the effort for the changing you had that for the sensuality, for the baffling of the mind, for the starting and filling, for the gaps so quickly enough that you can beat anybody. I cannot be nobody. This is the feeling of for the somebody, and this is not for the possibility for to be the total person to defect yourself for the change, not for the mind for the start to feeling, not for the only feeling the gap, not for the need for the only behavior, not for the there for the feeling, not for the beneath of the feeling for the real. The focus on the behavior you can only have is real, not for the symptom, not for the believing outside yourself for the agent that creates your world, for the stronger enough for the have intelligence, working yourself for the flower for the every blade of grass, and in every cell of body for my body for this to be the intelligence. That for the what you say for the generation. You have that now for the over the discriminatory for the, because you can have the intelligence enough for the reconciliation for the most vital. Artistic mind for the human actions. Your real life a dream for detachments. An aversion for the semi-real enough for your awakening. Souls love for the what can souls do. Egos don't but the not but the souls do become. Look it around for you see but to be amazed with the soul. You have that father for the connection. You can try to trust and find the trust and die for the be the planet for one. One for the wall for the don't for the leave without. That for the end for the trees and the clouds and the galaxies. And all in one for your energy. The possibility for the life of you. Less than a half and a happy to hear from the now. Conditions of your happiness are available here. Here for enough for you to be happy right now. Yeah, for the run into your future no more. Not for the not for look at anybody else. Your turn for the friend for the folk because of your girl. The brothers and cousins, you're not for the bitter for the way. For the mental energies to the not for the stray. For the enemy to the bitter for the real for the front and enemy. For the this to be the everywhere. For the this to be the enable yourself for the equal minded and towards yourself for the light. Maintaining your compassion for the essential connection. You have that for the separate for yourself for the never to be the another. For the sister say the no for the never that you can find the corresponding for the conceptually and essentially. There for the me for the spiritually. You can have that for the essence of what you can cut yourself and just not to go to blame for forgiveness and come to your deep intuition the same. Your shared humanity. Perception starts to die for the lower wall for your defense and being judgmental with its ultimate the defensive game. When it's saying and I'm not like you, forgiving for the everything you're worried and the way you're saying it. For the same for the something that for the same in me. That for the even if one never to be upset. That for the throw for the person you can have that cause of the pain for the harm for the this to be the connection to reconnect for the share for the humanity to forgiveness and what you have to understand. Your root of anger for yourself for the other. For the mind for the enjoy your truth and peace and just enjoy and lightness and you can get the pleasure for the mind for the seams and this to be the pleasure for the heart. Ultimately for the way for the getting in touch with yourself for the opening of the heart when you're letting go your ego and your thoughts. Depending on the channel, your grace. This for the place for the pace of the taste of defining the sky for the holes of everything for the what it beholds to defining the way to let go of your ego for the story and with the scene again for the distant enhancing your forgetting your remembering. Practice that for the opening the catching raindrop for the only the ways of falling out of place and never to drink your water and waking up to who you are for the container for the reason why you have an imagination to begin with. It's control and that for the ego. Go mind for the places, and that for to be deeper than the mystery, but what it beholds in the everything for the existence for you go into the anxiety for the this to not be your sorrow. Consider that for the spirit for to be unhappy with it being confined, compel you to leave for the true life in a significant place in kind for the vitality of the spirit. You don't need to have your deception if you want it though.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. More of an expression of the pen. Hold that thought like you had a pen for the penitentiary, for the it was only bypassing, for the that to be the part, for the you can met, for the no need to fear for the change, fear for the unknown, for the you knew the future. It would be great enough for you to welcome. It'll be here for the get there, for the you can have that future which is great, for the desert to proceed for the path that demand you walk, the eye for the through hell, for the will for you really own that place of important and only intense enough to awaken your consciousness for the you attain your realizations for the you didn't realize. Talking to the expert, you have that expectation of things for yourself before you could do them. Scissors never stop for the being cutting edge, and you have that to walk slow, never to walk behind, never to walk backwards in limbos. Beautiful death for the thing for the cannot be seen and touched, and that for the felt in the heart. You can have that passage dream for the you enjoy what is happening right now for this to be the always the wishes to be different than it is. I have no time to miss anyone for anything. I am alive and this is not enjoying what is happening right now for the living in the past, and this is only what a half alive is and the leading to your self-pity for the suffering and the tears. And when the life isn't going too well for your ego with the mind for the control, it's got that whole thing figured out for the tending to look into the deep of the mystery for your existence. Not for the everything is going too well, not for the life that isn't going for the over the place of the strain, for the anxiety, for the sorrow, for the consider your possibility, for the loving your person, for the accept that for the totality, defect that for the do the defects of the part of your person, trying to change your reality for the love, because of that for the effort for the change that you have.
Maybe I'll rap to the beginning of this truck that passed by with that mariachi music. Of course, it was that married it to the music and, of course, the frequencies. Or there was the force and maybe the beneath those needs and the needs for the change, those for the external place for the ultimately hostile enough to speak. Speak for the love and the compassion and don't be different. Affect that world for the transformation. About that for the just to transform your mindfulness. Receive it to be awake for the never alive, for the being fully for the aware. Vividness in the every moment for your inner resources holding that for the transform your healing. Negative thoughts and tramper for your brain waves. Everything's more contained.
For your freestyles, you're gonna have to pay for that eventually.
You would know the words that if you were listening to me. The human beings all around for the leaving the animal. Not for the galaxy, the possibilities, and you could be the scoundrel. Conditioning for the happiness, who's available for this to be the future. Only go for the one place and looking at anybody, your friend, for the mental energy, for the thoughts, yo, humidity, or that, for the deity, for the admirable, and enough for the equal-minded towards your equal place into maintaining your essential connection. Another, for the corresponding is something in me. Soon as after the forgetting, you're essentially on gone to some semi-spiritual essence. You're for the cutting yourself and cutting your off the who's of blame. Forgiveness come for the deep intuition, for the sometimes the sameness. Name, land, share, humanity for the perception. Start yourself with the lower walls and you defense. Being just meant for the ultimate, you find that game way of saying this is not to forgive you. Who want to saying for the who to find something enough for the same as in me. Thought you be upset enough for the odor for the person. You can have that for the pain for the harm. You can enact that for the shame for the harm. Humanity for the forgiveness in your arms. Lift for yourself for the other mind. Not for the peace of the joy and your lightness. Not for the coming for the pleasure, but this could be the senses and you're ultimately what you are looking for. Chanting that way of getting in touch. Myself, this be the opening in the heart. Letting go for the mind and your thoughts. It's deepening for the channel in your grace. It's a way to be present in the moment. Grace surrounds you, hold on sky. Hold on to everything but you love. Die for the soon, for the wind to let it go. My story to keep on seeing for the over again. You know how the grace with us will be including you're forgetting. Remembering to the practice your moment for the hand to catch. Your raindrops when they're falling and always are. If you don't understand that car will be louder than you are. Open your hand for you get wet enough of you don't get to drink. Walk and wake up, this is more than what you think. Requires letting go for the disciplined imagination yourself if you're going too well. For your egotistical mind to be the controlling and walling to the well. Water will hold you in life. Look at the straw. Breathe.
For your freestyles, you're gonna have to pay for that eventually. You would know the words that if you were listening to me. The human beings all around for the leaving the animal. Not for the galaxy, the possibilities, and you could be the scoundrel. Conditioning for the happiness, who's available for this to be the future. Only go for the one place and looking at anybody, your friend, for the mental energy, for the thoughts, yo, humidity, or that, for the deity, for the admirable, and enough for the equal-minded towards your equal place into maintaining your essential connection. Another, for the corresponding is something in me. Soon as after the forgetting, you're essentially on gone to some semi-spiritual essence. You're for the cutting yourself and cutting your off the who's to blame. Forgiveness come for the deep intuition, for the sometimes the sameness. Name, that, share, humanity for the perception. Start yourself with the lower walls and you defense. Being just meant for the ultimate, you'll find that game way of saying this is not to forgive you. Who want to saying for the who to find something enough for the same as in me. Thought you be upset enough for the odor for the person. You can have that for the pain for the harm. You can enact that for the shame for the harm. Humanity for the forgiveness in your arms. Lift for yourself for the other mind. Not for the peace of the joy and your lightness. Not for the coming but the pleasure for this could be the senses and you're ultimately what you are looking for. Chanting that way of getting in touch. Myself, this be the opening in the heart. Letting go for the mind and your thoughts. It's deepening for the channel in your grace. It's a way to be present in the moment. Grace surrounds you, hold on sky. Hold on to everything what you love. Die for the soon, for the wind to let it go. My story to keep on seeing for the over again. You know how that grace with us is including you're forgetting. Remembering to the practice your moment for the hand to catch. Your raindrops when they're falling and always are. If you don't understand that car will be louder than you are. Open your hand for you get wet enough if you don't get to drink. Walk and wake up, but this is more than what you think. Requires letting go for the disciplined imagination yourself for the going too well. For your egotistical mind to be the controlling and walling me to the well. Water will hold you in life. Look at the straw. Breathe.
Niggas run down on bicycles looking suspect as fuck. Shouldn't you be cold or concerned that it's raining outside? Maybe we will listen to the jazz play the back sound. Lift your ears and your heart at the same time. Synergy will allow you to get there faster if you even want to reach your destination. Hold on tight, hold on to you. Hold on, wait, no need for patience here. Niggas run down on bicycles looking suspect as fuck. Shouldn't you be cold or concerned that it's raining outside? Maybe we will listen to the jazz sound. Lift your ears and your heart at the same time. Synergy will allow you to get there faster if you even want to reach your destination. Hold on tight, hold on to you. Hold on, wait. patience here. Niggas running down on bicycles looking suspect as fuck. Shouldn't you be cold or concerned that it's raining outside? Maybe we will listen to the jazz sound. Lift your ears and your heart at the same time. Synergy will allow you to get there faster if you even want to reach your destination. Hold on tight, hold on to you. Hold on, wait, no needing for patience here. Niggas running down on bicycles looking suspect as fuck. Shouldn't you be cold?
Church boy.
Is you a church boy? I would sing a song like a church boy would if he was a church boy. Don't tell my grandson to do nothing. He is a church song. Listen to my boy. Hey, ho. Don't make him groan.
Someday I will believe you somehow.
Church boy. If you a church boy, I would sing a song like a church boy would if he was a church boy. Don't tell my grandson to do nothing. He is a church song. Listen to my boy. Hey, ho. Don't make him groan. Someday